This is the new Switchbot K10 Pro, and while it might look familiar, this little powerhouse is packing some serious upgrades. Now, I've been testing this vacuum for about the past month, and I have some thoughts. I'm excited to share how it stacks up against its predecessor. So first off, let's dive into what's new with the K10 Pro. At first glance, you might think Switchbot just slapped a new label on the original K10 Plus. The dimensions are identical, but don't let the size of this thing fool you. There is so much more going on here than meets the eye. When you first look at the robot, one of the noticeable changes is the front of the device. The K10 Pro sports a large front docking sensor and swaps out the shiny black finish where the robot vacuum couples with the docking station for a matte gray finish. Now let's talk suction power. The K10 Pro kicks it up a notch from the 2600 PA to 3000 PA of suction power and 20% increase in cleaning power. In real world terms, this means it can suck up objects as large as 20mm screws. Not that you should be vacuuming up your toolbox, but it's impressive nonetheless. One of my favorite features is the new brush design. The K10 Pro ditches the combo rubber and bristle brush of its predecessor for an all rubber version. And if you've ever spent time cutting tangled hair out of the vacuum brush, I know I have, you'll appreciate this change. The hair just slides right off, making maintenance a breeze. My wife has really long hair and it gets stuck in the brush all the time. The brush really does help a ton. While it still vacuums up, it's easy to get it off of the brush whenever it's time. So one of the biggest features of this new version of the vacuum is the PSD sensor, also known as the position sensitive detector, that complements the existing LiDAR array. This means it's much better at mapping your home and avoiding obstacles. Now, seeing this in action is actually kind of neat. The robot slows down as it senses it's getting close to a wall or another solid object and carefully navigates around it. It's not perfect, it still runs into things occasionally, like chairs or stools, but there is a major improvement here for sure. Now, there are some things about this that haven't changed. The K10 Pro still boasts that impressive 150-minute battery life we saw in the original. The base station still holds an ample 4 liters of dust and debris, meaning you can go up to 90 days between emptying it. And it still features that whisper quiet 45 decibel cleaning mode. Like its predecessor, it works with Alexa, Google Home, Siri shortcuts, SmartThings, and IFTTT. And with the Switchbot Hub 2 or Hub Mini with Matter support, you can even integrate this in using Matter. This means it'll slot right into your smart home setup no matter which system you're using. Well, as soon as the smart home controllers get vacuums pulled into their ecosystems, that is. So for now, you basically get an on-off switch in Apple Home, and that plus additional suction power levels in Amazon. There are rumors that when Matter support does come to the different controllers, you're likely to get other features such as specific room cleaning and suction power levels, but for now that's not a thing, and you're stuck using the Switchbot app to control those features. Now, speaking of things that are not perfect, you still have the same mopping functionality. Now, what the mopping functionality means is slapping a wet wipe on the plastic wipe holder and popping that on the back of the robot. Honestly, it's there if you need it in a pinch, but it's not doing a whole lot. Getting the robot set up is very simple. Open the Switchbot app and click Add New Device. Search for the Switchbot K10 Vacuum and click Add. Here, it will walk you through the steps to get connected, and finally it will prompt you to start building the map. I personally had a bit of trouble when creating a map. The first time I created the map, it got through from the foyer to my studio, and all of a sudden it thought it was back in the foyer and just failed altogether. When I returned to the foyer and restarted the mapping process, it did a lot better until it got to my studio and it did the same thing. Now, I don't know if it saw the dock from my old Robo-Rock vacuum here in my studio and got confused, or if something over in my server cabinet is putting out some kind of signal that's confusing it, but when I started the map feature in my studio, it did just fine building the map from there. So, I don't know. It is worth mentioning on that third round, I used the fast map feature built into the app, and that did seem to help as well. I don't know, I'm not sure what happened here, but eventually I did get a map of the first level of our home. So this begs the question, is the K10 Pro worth it for you? Well, it's complicated. If you already own the K10 Plus, It comes down to whether you value the additional features of navigation and suction power. For new buyers though, the Pro model addresses some of the key complaints that came with the original and is very much worth the buy. It's worth noting that you can still purchase the K10 Plus at a price of $399 on the Switchbot website. You can purchase the K10 Plus Pro for $599. And you can also now purchase the K10 Plus Pro Combo, which comes with your standard hand vacuum, for $799. While you're there, make sure you check out the S10 Plus, which is their robot mop and is a complete game changer in the RoboVac industry. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you used either the K10 Plus or the K10 Plus Pro? How do you think they compare? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and leave a like while you're down there. Here's another video that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.